Obviously, again, this is a joint effort here that GraVoc's undertaking between information technology and information security. And that's because when you talk about something like VDI or any of these new technology solutions here, there's a lot of crossover. So, as Tracy and Matt were talking about a lot of the IT benefits, those double as security benefits. And I'll talk about those in a little bit more detail as we go through. But from a general perspective, I just wanted to point out, VDI provides more security due to, its virtualized nature. So instead of having physical machines distributed over a geographic, area, whether that's, your office or multiple offices or employees' homes in your office, you have your virtual desktops are all existing in one cloud or data center, your cloud provider. And that gives you the ability to isolate your systems better, again, because they're virtual, not physical machines, and also the ability to layer security into multiple levels there. So whether that's image management, so that golden image that Tracy and Matt were talking about from the patch manager perspective, your threat detection, your log management, VDI provides a lot of opportunities where you do have to configure things securely and properly to meet your business needs and the security needs. But there's a lot of opportunities there that are made easier by VDI infrastructure. The first piece of that is probably that it's agnostic to the end device. So we were talking about mobile device management and bring your own device. If you've configured your VDI instance correctly, none of your data is going to be living on the end device, the personal owned device, the employee owned device, whatever it is. All your data is going to live within the data center that hosts the virtual desktop infrastructure. So you're not relying on the physical hardware. And if you're leveraging something like AWS or Azure, you're also taking advantage of their data centers, their security in those data centers, as well as their uptime, their availability. So you're not concerned about a disaster taking out your internet connection or things like that. As long as you can get an internet from anywhere, you're going to be able to log into that environment. And likely, Azure or AWS, they have high availability, high redundancy in their systems. That VDI infrastructure is going to be there. So again, we're not concerned about the end device. We just need an internet connection. And we're not really concerned about the nature of that internet connection. So whether that's from your office or that's from your employees' houses, or if that's from Starbucks, properly configured VDI can mitigate the risks of having an unsecured Wi-Fi. Again, everything, think of it like a secure container where all your data, security, all your transactions are occurring. You can manage everything within that container, so you don't pair the device or the connection into that. Doubling back on what Tracy and Matt were talking about, the golden image. So you have, a base level image that's used every time somebody logs into the VDI to spin up that specific instance that they're logging into. So that means that, if you're doing patch management, application rollouts, taking down an application, configuration changes, changes to your group policies, you only have to make those in one place. And those virtual desktops are always reachable and always available. IT people will tell you it's a constant struggle to try to maintain patch compliance because, a machine might have needed to be rebooted or, it wasn't turned on. That's no longer an issue when you have VDI because that base level image is always going to be available. It's always going to be online for you to, manage from an information security perspective. Same thing, because all of your infrastructure is in one place, backup configuration management becomes much easier. It's easier to leverage, again, if you're in Azure or AWS, what they have available to you in terms of backup infrastructure. Again, your data is just going to be on that host environment, and it'll be easy to map that over to, a secure backup. Same thing from incident and virus and threat management. Again, because your systems are virtual, they're easy to isolate. If you do have any sort of security incident, you can easily destroy the virtual desktop without much of an impact. Again, the data is not on that end machine. It's not even in that actual virtual instance. It's going to be on the servers. And you can disable other various services if you're detecting something like a ransomware attack. And again, if a hacker does get in, which, the number one threat we're still going to always talk about from an information security standpoint is phishing and credential compromise. But having something like VDI, again, properly configured makes it much harder for the hacker to move around laterally. Again, it's not like a physical network where everything's actually connected. It's just virtualized. So again, it's easier to isolate. It's easier to build in a layered controls.